This year's New York Times 52 Places to Go list, a travel primer highlighting the year's most exciting destinations, has already turned into a halfway pointing treasure hunt. At the midway mark, the Times writers and editors have trekked around the globe to report back on 11 of those picks, and the results are packed with history, culture, and fresh, untold stories. The cover story was no surprise. The semi-quincentennial of the Declaration of Independence pulled revolutionary America up as the round-the-world top pick, and the Times went beyond _existing clause only. They followed Benjamin Franklin's footsteps all the way to Paris, then made a pilgrimage to Barbados to unpack how that island set the template for enslavement in early America. Meanwhile, novelist Gary Steingart pulled open Thomas Jefferson's home, diving into Jeffersonian ideals in practice. Lizzie Skernick turned her focus to enslaved men who fought for freedom, while Times reporter Ellen Berry explored the legacy of a Cherokee woman who lived during Revolutionary times. All of this was packed into a feature that blends museums, estates, and the still-felt echoes of a foundational revolution. The race then turned to Warsaw. A new museum of modern art, flanked by a revitalized central square, signals a political and cultural renewal in Poland's capital. Christine Chung shared how Warsaw's electronic dance music scene is mushrooming, with small, scrappy clubs winding up attracting global attention, and her writing gives a sense that the city's nightlife has taken on a new, almost otherworldly atmosphere. On the other side of the planet, Bangkok rose to the top of the list as the world's most visited city, a record that brings fresh opportunities for culinary tours, art spotting, and nightlife exploration. Seth Sherwood put together a cutting-edge guide that walks visitors through the newest dining spots, hotels and art spaces, all that sprang up in a way that can work for both the luxury-loving and budget-conscious traveler. The Times also called Dallas into the spotlight for a World Cup match, offering a quick 36-hour guide from local correspondent Jesus Jimenez. He laid out the best ways to soak up the city's culture in between goals, a handy itinerary for fans who want more than just football on a Sunday. Over in Barcelona, city officials are dealing with over-tourism head-on. The mayor's new transport commissioner José Antonio Donner told the Times that the city wants to change the kinds of tourists who come, to make the city's neighborhoods more livable. Pabalu, once an industrial enclave, stands as a symbol of the city's urban reinvention, and the Times' own 36-hour guide runs through this neighborhood's vibrancy. A year after the wildfires that scorched Los Angeles, a new mayoral race and a recent World Cup match put LA on the Times' radar. Michael Kimmelman, the paper's architecture critic, has called the new David Geffen galleries at the LA County Museum of Art spectacular, and the Times reports on how New York's contributors have captured the city's post-fire recovery and new artistic offerings, as well as the broader cultural shift that locks the event world to this perform-action cycling city. What we're seeing is more than a mid-year check-in. It's a story of an editorial team showing that travel is not just about the obvious tourist spots but uncovers the layers of history and culture that make a place. These pieces are ready. Read at a coffee table, or pour your whiskey in the background while you zip through them online. The Times' 52 places are still on the list, but the first half of the year has already taken us from the battlefields of revolutionary America to the neon lights of Bangkok. The rest of the year promises even more surprising discoveries, and we'll be there with you to bring you the full panoramic view. Until next time, keep dreaming of the next destination.